Hello, my name is Gerard Evans, and this is a vlog about technology enrichment or enhancement in the classroom. So I was trying to figure out exactly what questions I should ask the teachers, and looking at the kind of like the discussions that the cohort has had about it, you know, the, there were various ways to kind of go about actually asking the teachers exactly how are you or how are you trying to incorporate technology into the classroom? And so what I just decided to do, I just looked at the ISTE website and looked at the kind of like the template for what educators should be doing in the classroom and just modified those questions and asked the teachers those particular questions. My school is relatively small. It has about seven full-time staff members, 110 kids, and so it was actually easy to have a discussion about exactly how we going about putting technology into the classroom. So the first question I asked the teachers is, how have you used technology to improve students' learning? The second question was, how much have you participated in learning more about the most recent technology that helps students achieve success in the classroom? The third is, what do you contribute to help students participate in the digital world? Number four is, how much time do you spend learning about how other teachers or students are using technology for educational purposes? Number five, do you design activities to help students with different learning styles achieve academic success? Number six, how much scaffolding do you do before the students in the class become more independent with technology usage? And then number seven was, how much data have you collected to better understand the role of technology in the classroom for teachers and students? So I was trying to design a survey that was somewhat short, but also I think encompassed, an overall idea about the teachers and how well they are using technology in the classroom. My personal note about technology in the classroom is that it can help or hurt depending on exactly how you use it. We've got a no cell phone policy throughout the academic day, only because it just seems like our teenagers, quite frankly, just don't know how to effectively use their phones. And so we've kind of eliminated phone usage unless a teacher wants to use something, an app or something on the phone. And so let's see here. So the responses, summary of the responses I got. So what I tend to get from most of the teachers is actually kind of the same responses. Um, so one of the most common responses for the first question um, was apps. Uh, a lot of the teachers were using apps on their phones in order to encourage the students to actually, to improve their learning. You had certain teachers who are using WeChat as a means of communicating with students. Pretty much you can communicate, up until kind of like the, 10 o'clock at night with teachers. It's a good tool to actually assign work, to use the app in order to encourage students to look for information and share it with not only the teacher but also the other classmates. And so a lot of the teachers were using apps. Personally, I'm using Khan Academy, using the app Khan Academy to help my students understand APO's history. And so a lot of the teachers are definitely relying upon apps in order to improve students' learning. The second question, um, you know, being in Shanghai, China, I think we're definitely in a hub in Asia that is looking for new technology, and so there's always some kind of convention going on in Shanghai, some kind of a convention about technology or whatever it might be, some industry, and so we're fairly. I think most of our teachers have said that they're fairly recent on technology usage. It kind of depends on the subject matter. It seems like, for math, the math teachers, quite frankly, weren't didn't care as much as the recent technology. They rely heavily on smartboard technology, which we've had here for years, to kind of show problems and examples. The math teachers, quite frankly, they're somewhat stubborn in their approach to improving upon their skills. They feel as though if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of scenario. But I'd say like the humanities teachers and the science teachers are definitely kind of they're looking at new technology in order to actually see exactly what can be used in the classroom to improve the skills of the Chinese students that we're teaching. Um, how do you contribute to help students participate in the digital world? Well, we have to set rules. I mean, the majority of our teachers, quite they set rules. It set boundaries and guidelines. And personally, as an administrator at the school, I just said that no tech between the academic day unless a teacher wants you to use it. And it just leaves no room for error at all when it comes to exactly what are we looking for and what do we want out of the students in the use of technology. How much time do you spend learning about other teachers? We have weekly meetings, and so typically, if there's something about technology we want to talk about, we'll talk about it at the weekly meeting. But I would say at most, maybe the teachers are talking maybe like once or twice a month. Uh, our technology on the campus, quite frankly, is not great. Most teachers use their own personal laptops, and which run a lot better than the personal PCs we have on campus. Just the job PCs on campus, and so most of us are using our own technology. Um, do you design activities to help students with learning styles? Yeah, we do. Most of our teachers are using videos like YouTube or Yoku, which is a version of YouTube, to help students see the English as well as see the English translation as well as actually the visual in English as well. So, we're most teachers would say they're trying their best to scaffold exactly and modify certain lesson plans in order to cater to the learning styles. But it typically is based around language. So we try to actually find subject material that has, especially videos with subtitles, so that the students can see the English, and they can always go back and repeat and go back and kind of repeat watching the video over and over again. How much scaffolding do we before the students in the classroom become more independent? It takes time. It depends on exactly who the students are. Um, for our ones level or honors level, it may take a month. For our twos level, which is kind of regular classes, it may take 3 or 4 months. But it seems like for the most part, most people wait until the semester is over to begin to remove some of the support and allow the students to become more independent. So usually it takes one semester. Most teachers say one semester. And how much data have we collected for number seven? It students, I'm sorry, teachers usually ask about 2 or 3 times a month about exactly kind of an evaluation of the classroom, like how are things going in the classroom, how has technology helped or hurt in the classroom. So usually the teachers will ask on a Friday, and Friday, like the last day of the week, they kind of like break up the monotony of kind of like education. So it seems like most of the teachers ask like twice a month about um, to gather information informally but also formally about data in the classroom, or technology in the classroom. um, so the lesson plan analysis. I looked at a lesson plan, a history lesson plan, and what I noticed was that it is a lesson plan that definitely is for students who are either like honor students, or it was for students who had a lot of support maybe the first semester, and then so it's definitely more like a second semester assignment for most of our students, but for the honor students it might have been a first semester assignment because it required a lot of independence. And the topic is also about presidential commercials, and for the lesson plan to talk about presidential commercials in America for Chinese students is a challenge because a lot of them don't know most of the presidents, and so it requires a lot of scaffolding, a lot of support in order to get to the point where they can actually look at the videos, look at the commercials, and make an analysis and then write an essay. I think the most challenging part is making an analysis of the material, especially if they don't know the material. So in a history class, this is something that probably would happen, like I said, second semester, where they've had enough time to like build the skills in order to actually do the lesson that I saw there, that I got. And then the last part, the checklist. Yeah, the checklist, the checklist I had here is pretty much related to, I think, a checklist for any other regular lesson plan. It's just the fact that you incorporate technology. The questions I asked here are: what are your learning goals or standards? What evidence would you need for students to demonstrate mastery of standards and goals? What method would you use to assess? What questions or prompts would you include on the assessment? And what are the criteria for success? What are the characteristics of a high quality response? And so, it's all, I mean, when I think about technology in the classroom, it should add to the classroom, not take away from the class. And so You take a standard lesson plan that you normally have in any content class, and you incorporate some technology into it. And if it improves on the class, then it's a success in my opinion. But if it actually impacts the class negatively, then you've got to go back and reassess exactly was it good for you to put this technology into your lesson plan. So yeah, I mean, I think overall technology is something that's really important for all our students, especially for our students who are going to America to go to college. And so you've got to help the students understand the importance of using technology and not abusing technology in order to benefit them educationally.